beach, surrounded by dense jungle, two men named Marco and Luis embarked on an ambitious project to build a house entirely from materials they could find in their natural surroundings. They had always dreamed of living off the grid, and this was their chance to create a home away from the hustle and bustle of city life. With the sun shining brightly overhead and the sound of waves crashing nearby, they rolled up their sleeves and got to work. Marco, the more experienced builder of the two, took charge of constructing the house. He laid out a plan on the sand, marking where each wall would go. Using large pieces of driftwood that had washed ashore, he began to build the framework. His hands moved skillfully, fastening the pieces together with twine he had woven from palm fronds. The structure began to take shape quickly, and Marco's enthusiasm grew with each plank he added. Meanwhile, Luis took on the task of gathering wood and other materials. He ventured into the nearby jungle, where he carefully selected trees to cut down. With each swing of his axe, he made sure to choose only the trees that would provide the strongest, most durable wood. As he worked, he kept an eye out for vines and other plants that could be used for additional building materials. Luis was mindful of the environment, taking only what they needed and ensuring they left as little impact as possible. The house was beginning to look like a real home. Marco had constructed a sturdy frame and was now working on the roof, using palm leaves to create a waterproof covering. Luis returned from the jungle with a fresh supply of wood, which he and Marco quickly shaped into planks for the walls. The two men worked in tandem, their movements synchronized from years of friendship and collaboration. They joked and laughed as they worked, the sun beating down on their backs, but their spirits remained high. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, the house was nearly complete. Marco stepped back to admire their work, wiping the sweat from his brow. "Not bad for a day's work," he said with a grin. Luis nodded in agreement, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over him. The house was simple but sturdy, a perfect blend of their skills and the natural resources around them. It stood proudly against the backdrop of the beach and jungle, a testament to their hard work. With the structure in place, Marco and Luis began to add the finishing touches. They fashioned a door from a piece of driftwood and added windows that faced the ocean, allowing the sea breeze to flow through. They even built a small porch out front, where they could sit and enjoy the sunsets. As they worked, they talked about all the adventures they would have in their new beachside home, from fishing in the ocean to exploring the jungle. Approached, the house was finally finished. Marco and Luis sat on the porch, watching the sky turn brilliant shades of orange and pink. They felt a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing they had built something with their own hands, using only what nature provided. The sound of the waves and the rustling of the palm trees was a soothing soundtrack to their moment of triumph. Looking around at their creation, Marco turned to Luis and said, "This is just the beginning. Tomorrow, we start on the garden." Luis chuckled, nodding in agreement. They knew there was still much to do, but for now, they were content to sit and enjoy the fruits of their labor. As the stars began to appear in the night sky, the two friends shared a quiet moment of pride and gratitude, knowing they had created something truly special on their little slice of paradise.